All right, so a little bit of an unorthodox start to the day and start to the video. We had to get a few things fixed on the truck. We needed a trailer tire replaced, and a fog light had burned out, so we needed to get that fixed. So I didn't have a chance to do my normal selfie start to the video, so we're gonna start as we roll. Let's see, got one car coming. I won't pull out in front of them, because if I try to gas on it coming out of here, I'll spin the tires because of the little gully that's along the road for water drainage or storm. Oh, now there's another car coming. Visibility to the right is a little bit limited. To the left is good, but to the right is a little bit limited. Every now and again we will pull out in front of somebody because you just can't see them until they come around a little curve. But what I was saying is I don't want to really juice on it pulling out because of the little dip there at the edge of our parking lot and start spinning tires, and that's not a good thing to do. Try to avoid that as much as possible, but we are getting going. We have Hazleton's today. We have not been up there for a while, so we've got relatively, and I shouldn't say this because that's when things change, but we have a relatively short day. We have a Hazleton out of Tamaqua, and then we have 3 out of the Hazleton well. So unless something changes or gets added on, that's going to be our day. We should get done fairly early, which is never a bad thing on a Friday. And considering I'm still trying to get myself adjusted to this new thyroid medication and sometimes don't feel all that well, a little fatigued and so forth and so on, I'll take the short day when I get one. So a little chilly right now to start, 32. I'm going to go up to about 55, I guess, today, so it'll be on the mild side. Start out sunny-ish, and then it will get cloudy as the day goes on. So that's the way we start. Other than that, I don't know how much else to say. The weekend's supposed to be mild, but it comes with periods of rain, and then we get cold again next week where we drop down into the low to mid 40s. So we're on a roller coaster pattern of mild and cold, mild and cold, mild and cold. Wish we could lock in some of the warmth out in Phoenix. Yesterday it was 105 degrees, earliest 105 ever, and it beat the record by a month. So it's been crazy hot out west. And meanwhile, we've been fairly cold here. So we're making our way out to 309, and I guess we will talk to you when we get to the well and start loading this first one up. Alright, well, this day keeps getting weirder and weirder because when I got up there to the well, I didn't have the camera on because I figured I would talk to you while I was loading. And there was a guy there, he was just buttoning up and leaving, so I got on, and no sooner did I get on that somebody came up behind me, so then I ended up shooting the bull with him, and didn't get a chance to talk to you. So here we are talking to you now after we loaded up. Like I said, we're going up Hazleton way, so we made the right turn heading up there toward Tamaqua. Yeah, just a kind of a weird start to the day. And the guy that came in behind me, he usually doesn't run out of this well up here. He usually does the Red Barns to Allentown Airport. That's generally his steady run. So to see him come in behind me was kind of strange. I'm not sure. Just kind of an odd day, maybe. We'll see. Maybe, who knows if I won't get stuff added on or if we'll keep what we were scheduled. I have no idea. But anyway, we are making our way north. We'll roll up there through Tamaqua and up the bumpy hill, get on 81 for a little bit, get off there at 924, go into the Humboldt Industrial Park and get to our customer. And then after that, our loads will come out of the Hazleton well. We won't drop back down here for any. So we'll see what's going to happen today. It might turn out to be an interesting one. Or it might, like I said, stay the way it is. Alright, getting off here at 9:24. See how long we're gonna have to wait at this traffic light. Yeah, we're not gonna get the first one. We won't get 3 trucks through this traffic light. I don't believe so anyway. It's gonna turn yellow sometime before or during Swift's. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for the next one. Not that long of a light. 1.5 trucks, about all that can get through this one. Alright, this is another one where the transmission defaults into like 1 gear too high. Pulling this hill, and it defaulted into 3rd gear, and then it lags when you try to get going with it. Now, of course, it grabbed that gear shortly after we got started, but I believe it's easier on the driveline to start in a bit lower of a gear than what the computer thinks it should start in. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but 3rd gear seems to be a little bit too much for an 80,000 pound truck. Now here it'll probably default in the 3rd again if I come to a complete stop. It's not so bad here, but that one's a little bit more of a hill, and yeah, there it went to 3rd gear again. But this one not going to be so bad once it turns green. There we go. Just certain hills, it seems like it wants to default into 1 gear too high, and sometimes 2. Like out there at the well in the woods, when I'm going to make the right turn back on the 895, I think it should default into 2nd gear, and for some reason on that one it defaults into 4th. And that is way too high a gear to try and pull that hill and make that turn. But anyway, we got a couple of miles and a few traffic lights to go through here before we get to the plant. So I'll talk to you when we get in there. So as it were, I wasn't able to do any selfie work up here either because I had this guy next to me the whole time, and I'll explain what his deal is once we get going. Alright, so we're empty and we're rolling back out 924 to get on 81 North to go up to the Hazleton well, get that 2nd load of water of the day. That guy next to me, he delivered a load, and now he is going to reload with something and then drop it somewhere. He was waiting further instructions. He was waiting for a guy to come out and set him up with whatever it was he was going to reload and tell him where he was going to drop the load. So I don't know what that was all about, but of course he was there, so I couldn't do my selfie work there either. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4. We are 5th truck back from this traffic light here. So I don't know if we're going to make this one either. Of course, all the trucks usually line up in this left lane because 1/4 mile up the road you need the left lane no matter which direction you're going on 81, whether you're going north or south. You need to be in this left lane to get on the freeway, so all the trucks stack up in the left lane here. We're moving, but I don't know if we're going to get moving quick enough to get this light on this light cycle. Now the 4-wheelers will run down that right lane and then slingshot you and come in like between me and Amazon here. I can't see the light. What color is the light? It's still green. Okay. This entrance up here confuses people. See, 81 South, 81 North, they both use the left lane and have a left turn lane. But you'd be amazed at how many guys get into this turning lane and then realize they're in the wrong one and come flying back out of it because they want to go northbound on 81. So you got to be careful coming through here that they don't swing out in front of you. See, now down here, this left turn lane is the one to get on 81 northbound, which usually has a lot more traffic. More people go north out of this industrial park than they do south, cars and trucks. So now let's see. We might be able to get through this one. There's a big gap traffic. Amazon should be able to make the turn. I should be able to make the turn. Barely. Barely. Ay. Now the four-wheeler coming through right behind me. I guess he wasn't going to wait for another light cycle. I was already pretty much nosed into that intersection, so it only made sense for me to actually take it than to try and stop, because then what I would have done was I would have shorted the people coming off the freeway trying to make the left where we did earlier in the video. So best to continue on through the turn and clear the intersection. So we got about 2.5 to 3 miles, and we'll jump off and go back through the woods to get to the well back there. So. Alright, so we're up here loading the first of 3 out of Hazleton here, and I'll tell you what, it's a little breezy up here, but it's very mild, probably in the 50s already, and what a change from back in the winter when I was doing these, and it was so frigid cold and icy and everything else, and so all the snow and ice is gone, and it's a milder day, and it's kind of nice to be up here. I like loading up here. It just in the winter time, it's brutal. So, but we're loading the first of the 3 we're supposed to get out of here, and this one loads quick, so we can't talk to you too long. I'm gonna have to watch the meter so we can shut it down accordingly, and then get on out of here and head down and deliver it. All right, so we're loaded, all buttoned up and ready to roll. Take it easy off of here. Ground is pretty uneven, like little potholes and stuff, so just take her easy, flip her around, and this driveway pretty bumpy coming up and going down, so we can't really, not that you want to really roll on a dirt road, but you gotta take it exceptionally slow here because we don't want to be breaking any springs or anything like that. It's just kind of, how do I explain it? It's not really potholes, but it's just like a washboard. And there's high spots and low spots just from the freeze and thaw. And now you can see it dried out real nice, so we don't have a mud problem anymore. But the places where there was mud have kind of sunk and created some potholes. So it's a little bit rough coming in and out of here. And I don't come up here that often, so I don't know where it is, what line is the best line to take out of here, so we will just take her easy and just slowly coast on out with our Jake brake and go from there. Right here by the gate it's real bad, and right where you turn off the road it's real bad. Broke traction a couple times coming in here. See, right here, there's a pretty deep rut. Oh. Let's see, you gotta cut it this way a little bit, make sure nothing's coming either direction, and it is not. So we can go, boy. There we go. So in about 15 minutes, we'll be back over at the plant to unload this one. That's what I said. I don't know if that guy's still going to be over there or if he'll be loaded and out of there. It depends on how fast of a pump they have to reload that tank. All right, so there is one of the ugly leftovers from the winter time. And this truck's going to drive by here and block it. One of the leftover big snow piles, and boy, when they melt down, they get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. So that ugly snow pile is about the last thing that's left of the winter in 25-26. Today is the first day of spring, 10:30 I believe it was when we switched over to astronomical spring. So today's the first day of spring, and that pile and the ones at a lot of the supermarkets and shopping malls and bigger businesses, that's all that remains of the winter snows that we had gotten. So I'll be glad when they're totally gone, but for the most part, snow is gone. Boy, the wind up here. Like I told you in the past, Hazleton is always a windy place, and today's no exception. It almost pulled the the phone out of my hand. I had to grab a hold of it a little bit tighter. But anyway, we're unloading up here. That guy was just leaving when I pulled in, so he's done, and I was able to talk to you for a few minutes. And it's mild, it's nice out, but yeah, it's windy up here, and it's always windy in Hazleton. Just by where it sits, it's about 1,700 feet, so it seems to be in a little mini jet stream. It can be dead calm everywhere else, but it's windy up here. So like I told you, in the wintertime, it's a different climate. It's definitely a different climate up here than it is down in the valleys. But anyway, we unloading, and we'll talk to you somewhere along the line on the way back over to load up the next one. All right, just about back to the well location. And I'll show you those bumps going in, and we do break traction, and we will break traction going over them no matter how slow you try to go in here and how gentle you try to be on the throttle. It just lifts the truck up in certain ways that the drive tires will break traction. There is no good way. I'm going to try going over to the left here, but it's probably still going to be a little bit rough. Yep, there we go. Broke traction, hopped. Now we're going to do it again here. Yep. Yep, it just cannot avoid it. Nobody's here, so at least we don't have to wait on anybody. Boy. Alright, so back for more. We are loading up as we speak, and you can hear the noise it makes. Like I said, 700 gallon versus about 400 gallon at the other one. So this one loads right quick. 10 minutes, we're out of here. So we don't have a lot of time to mess around. We're halfway loaded by the time we fill out our paperwork in there. So I don't know what else to say. I'm just trying to reach for things. That's the thing with these Hazleton turns, is they're so quick that nothing really happens in between there and here, and I run out of things to say. And I don't have long to talk because it loads so fast. But it is breezy up here, though. That's the only thing I can say. If it weren't breezy, I could probably lose this hoodie, but as it is, I don't mind. As long as I don't need that winter jacket, I'm much happier. So other than that, we're gonna just keep on keeping on. All right, making our way out with load number 3 of the day, load number 2 out of the Hazleton well. We gotta wait for this light to turn green. That side has an arrow. Oh, here we go, getting on Interstate 81 southbound. We only go one exit. Down to 924, jump off and go in as we always do. Boy, that guy in the pickup truck behind me, he swung that turn so fast he went over the yellow line and into the stones, kicked up a cloud of dust. I don't know, he must be in a hurry. We'll see what he does when we get down here and get on the interstate, if he really tries to slingshot me to get on this thing. And looks like the traffic is a bit heavy at the moment. I get on behind his Bronco because this little Jeep Renegade moved left for me. And here he comes. Here he comes. He is in a hurry. He's going to catch up to this Renegade and going to have to brake, slam on the brakes. No, he's slowed down now. But he is definitely in a hurry. We got a big old lifted Dodge Ram. A nice truck, but man, was he in a hurry. The way he swung that turn behind me. Now he's going to roll coal, so I guess he's got a diesel. Yep. There he goes. All right, back on the brakes again. When he gasses on it, he probably rolls some more coal. Now I don't know whether to pass this. Now you know what? Now we're going to get up the hill and I'm going to lose it. And this white Subaru that's coming up on my left, hey, lollygagging back there and hanging at my trailer tandems for some reason. Now she decides to go, but now I've already lost it, so I just got to ride up the hill behind these guys. I don't know how heavy they are, how slow they're going to go, but we're kind of stuck behind them now. So, not like it's a long day, so it's not like I'm trying to keep up the pace and keep moving, but still, I know I easily could have passed these guys. I had the momentum going into the hill to get around this first one anyway, but she just held back there and shut me out of that lane. So now here we are, we're slowing down to 53 miles an hour, but our exit's right up here anyway, so not a big deal. Oh, and they're getting off here too. Two of them together. They must be running together. Both got the same kind of container on the way it looks. At least the same color. Looks like that guy in the pickup truck got off this exit too. Alright now, gentlemen, maybe we can make this light if you guys don't lollygag. If you guys don't lollygag. Nope, we're not gonna make it. They both made it. Oh, no, wait, here we are. We got the arrow. Okay, somebody making a left turn there. Kick the right turn arrow on for us. Perfect. Now they're gonna ride side by side. I mean, I'm heavy too, so it wouldn't be worth it to pass them, but now they're going to ride side by side and hold up traffic. Yeah. You know, it's amazing. Alright, guys, we're here unloading the third one. It's so noisy out there, I decided to just talk to you in the truck here. That white container that's parked off to our left there, I don't know, it's some kind of a generator, I guess. And every now and again it kicks on, and you got a diesel engine, and it's pretty loud in its own right. And then off the other way we got a resin truck that's delivering plastic pellets, and that's running up the tubes going into the silo, so that's making a lot of racket. So it's just a pretty noisy environment sometimes here, so we just talked to you in the truck a little bit. So we got one more to do, and I did bring hat cam out with me, and so maybe on the ride back down through Tamaqua on the way home, we'll put the hat cam on and we'll try some stuff with that again. But really close to ordering the new DJI version of the Insta360, because just watching the YouTube reviews, it's so much better of a camera. Has the same color profiles as the DJI Osmo 5 that I have right now. So the videos will have the same color cast to them, and white balance and all that kind of stuff. Plus I can use the auxiliary microphones with it, whereas with this Insta360 Go 3, you cannot plug an external mic into it. You have to use its own internal mic, and for some things it's okay, but for a lot of things it's not. So about $400 it's going to cost me, but it should improve my videos a little bit. So we'll try that. Hopefully it's money well spent, because I really don't get a lot of views, and I have a fairly decent enough subscriber base, but I generally don't get more than about 75 to 125 views per video. I'd like to bump that up a little bit. I don't know, I can only promote it so much, and I don't know, YouTube I guess isn't promoting it because they promote the big channels, not the small channels. So I'm kind of at YouTube's mercy. Some of my weatherboard friends know about it, but I really can't promote it the way I'd like to promote it. So I gotta just hope at some point YouTube catches onto it and promotes it. Or some of you guys that faithfully watch them, share them with your friends if you can. Get me some more views. I'm not really out to make money off the channel, but it would be just nice if more people watched the videos and commented on them. So alright, going up for that last one here. We just jumped off 81 here in PA 93. We gotta make a left here once this light turns green for us, and then go across the freeway and then make another left. Sort of like we're gonna follow that sign there that says South 81, but we're not gonna get on 81. We're gonna go straight out the country road to get back to the well. And I don't know where we are in this light cycle, but this can be a very long light. usually gives preference to the 93 traffic. Okay, it turned yellow now, so we're gonna get going. Alright. So do that flip, come down here to this light. Now this one won't take long to turn green again. When it goes red for the cross traffic here, it's a pretty fast one. It should be turning green almost before we stop, which it did. Like I said, instead of getting on the freeway here, we will go straight out the country road. We'll go about 4 miles out, and then, well, you've seen where the entrance to the well is, so that's where we need to go. That's a nice ride. Now, I'm going to tell you, right now it's still first day of spring, so nothing is green yet. But what's going to happen is, as the rest of the world starts greening up through spring, this area will not. This is going to be one of the last areas that will go summer green, pretty deep into May, almost June, before it leaves out up here. It's going to look like every place else is going to look like late spring and even summer in some places, and it'll still look like winter up here. It's, like I said, that much different of a climate. Spring comes very late, fall comes very early, and the winters are harsh. Alright, last one loaded up. We're ready to roll on out of here. And I did talk to you outside the truck, or at least I started to talk to you outside the truck, but it is the wife's lunch break, and so she called me right in the middle of my recording, so that was the end of that. And like I told you, this place loads fast, so I didn't have a chance to try to reshoot it. So we'll just talk to you a little bit here as we roll on out of here. You've seen it before on the first load out of here, but you'll see it again. The Hazleton route is kind of tough to get creative with because it's such a short run over the same roads. So it's a little harder to video on Hazleton days, but I like coming up here, especially in the warmer weather months. That's one of the things I was mentioning in that clip that I was going to do outside, that in the winter time I don't much care to come up here because of just how cold and windy and stuff it is up here. But in the warmer months I don't mind coming up here. It's nice up here and all that, and the customer's a good customer, pretty modern plant that was built a few years ago, and easy to work with, easy to hook up and unload and everything. And so I don't mind coming up here spring, summer, fall, but winter is a different story. I'll do what I'm asked to do, but I don't much like it when it's as cold as it is up here in the winter months. Alright, so we're here, and I'm a little bit nervous now because as I was coming in the drive into this place, my phone dinged. So I don't know, I got a message of some kind. I don't know if it's from the wife or if it's from dispatch. I'm hoping it's from the wife or my niece or something, but we'll have to see once I get back on the pad and get out of the truck and I can pull my phone out of my pocket. Who messaged me and what it's about, because I'm afraid if it's my dispatcher, he added one or more loads onto my day. And I wouldn't mind that so much if I didn't think that this was my last load and I was going home. If he would have done it earlier this morning, then it'd be like, okay. But now I'm like kind of hyped up. I didn't hear anything from anybody, and it appears that I'm done for the day, but we may not be. We'll find out in a minute once I get backed in and set up here. Alright, so we're here, and I set that camera up on the steel body of that container there so you can see what I have to do to load up here, unload here. So we'll pull the lock. open up the trough. That's what makes this place nice, is there's a trough here. The hose just comes out of the trough. So we, of course, sanitize as we always do. And then it's just easy. Slide the hose out of the trough over here and hook her up. Open the valve. So the flow of water is going through the hose. Now all we got to do is go over to the computer and enter our information in, and then we'll be able to start the pump. So we got to enter the company name, my name, trailer number, and then the spring source, bill of lading number, gallon amount, what pump, which is pump 2, and then submit. And for some reason, we always have to do this twice to get it to turn on. Don't know why, but that's just the way it works. So we got to re-enter everything 2 times. And now she's good to go. Give them their copy of the paperwork. And now we can go start the pump. All right, so as I told you, this is a noisy environment sometimes here. And what do we have? There's 2 trucks over there now. There's 2 resin trucks over there unloading plastic pellets. So they're shooting twice as much into those silos and the tubes that lead to them. That was kind of drowning my voice out in that last sequence. So hopefully you were able to hear me talk. I used the external microphone hooked up to my phone and then used the Insta360 as the video camera. So it sounded a little off. It sounded like the pellets were overpowering my voice. So hopefully you'll be able to hear what I was saying. But we are hooked up, we are unloading, and the text message was indeed from my wife for dinner reservations for April 4th. So it had nothing to do with having extra loads put on me. And I'm not against that, like I said, but not when I'm coming in here at my last one thinking that I'm done for the day. Then it kind of becomes a bummer. But if you'd have hit me up first thing this morning and say I need to add something, then it would have been all right. But anyway, we're unloading here, and we'll soon be done. We'll be heading back down the hill to home. Doesn't look like I'm going to need any fuel. I didn't come off of full yet. These runs are so short that they hardly use any fuel. So I'm not going to go in that gas station and deal with the traffic in there and everything else just to put 15 gallons worth of fuel in the truck. Not worth it. It's almost full. She'll have more than enough to run Sunday night, and if anybody comes out over the weekend and jumps in it and uses it, they'll have more than enough for their shift as well. So, all right, interesting dilemma. Last load of the day, and I'm probably maybe about 500 gallons from being empty, and look what came up on the screen. The pump shut off. So we're gonna move right one, and we're gonna dump the rest of it off. Actually, I misjudged how much was left in the tank. I closed the valve, pulled the hose, drained it, buttoned everything up, and when I opened the valve back up, probably only about 10 gallons came out. So, boy, what a perfect estimation of how many loads they needed today, because only 10 gallons was left in the trailer when the silos got full and the pump shut off. So, not bad at all. All right, so we're done. We're leaving, and I figured I would try out this hat cam again for you guys. Maybe I can play around with the color correction software and get it to look more like the the DJI camera, but we're not going to make this light. This truck and this car are going to be the only ones that make it through this light. But that has got to be some of the best ordering and estimating of loads that I've ever seen in my life, because the silos filled up and I only had about 10 gallons, 5 to 10 gallons left in the trailer. That was just incredible. Between the ordering by the plant people and my dispatcher and the way he set up the trucks, I've never seen it fall so perfect in my life. I thought I was going to dump about 500 gallon off, and it turned out I only dumped between 5 and 10 gallons off. So that is pretty incredible. I'll probably never see that again in my life. But anyway, we'll talk to you more going down the hill through Tamaqua, whatever. But I just wanted to tell you that just blew my mind how close that was. That was just... Look at this guy. That was not a left turn lane. There's only one turn lane there. The left turn lane, and the other one is a straight and a right turn lane. I can't believe that guy. I'm gonna get to pull up right next to him. Oh my goodness. Let's see if he even looks over at me. This is gonna be good. He got tinted windows. He probably ain't gonna look over at me. You moron. I'm telling you. The things you see out here, it's just incredible. Now, I wasn't going to keep the camera on this long, but that guy doing that made me keep the camera on longer. I mean, could have easily been an accident. What if I'd have been able to take off a little bit faster? What if I wouldn't have seen him? I mean, as it was, I didn't see him till the last minute, so it was kind of on the close side. It's ridiculous. All right, folks, we are topping the Ridge Cup. We made it through Tamaqua. It was a bit of a traffic jam up in there, so I didn't really record it because we were crawling along at 5 miles an hour through the town. It took probably almost 10 minutes to get through, so I waited till we come down here. We can talk to you while we play dodge the pothole and dodge the bump. This horrible road that we're on right now. I got on PennDOT's website to see if it's scheduled for any kind of work this summer, and well, no, it is not. It is not scheduled for a resurfacing until 2029. So it's 2026 right now, so we got 3 more years till they're going to work on this thing. So we got to suffer through all these bumps. They don't do much to fix them except patch the potholes as they open up. That's all they're doing anymore. They even stopped crack filling. They used to crack fill, but there's so many cracks in the pavement that they don't crack fill anymore. But see, here's a bunch of potholes. They came through and threw some blacktop in them, but that doesn't fix the bumpy nature of them. It just makes it so you don't blow out tires. But yeah, here we are. But we're done for today. We don't even need fuel. We are just barely off of that full mark on this tank. So the 4 loads running that short distance up in Hazleton doesn't use much fuel at all. So we don't need any fuel. I'm not going to waste our time stopping in there just to put maybe 20 gallons in it. Whoever runs this truck next, usually it's my night shift partner on Sunday night. It doesn't usually go out over the weekend. They will definitely have enough fuel to run their shift. I will top off the DEF tank though. so that'll be good. And actually, she would probably have enough DEF to run too, but I will top that off back at the yard. But I'm not going to go into that gas station and deal with the traffic and everything else. I don't know. Like I said, it's closer to full than it is to 3/4. It barely moved, so we're not going to put much fuel in it at all. So we got to slide left around those and slide right, and we didn't quite miss those. Yeah, just a horrible road. PennDOT should be ashamed of themselves for allowing a road to deteriorate into the condition that this one's in and not even making an attempt to fix it for another 3 years. 40 years was the last time it was repaved. So you got 40-year-old blacktop. Of course it's going to deteriorate and fall apart. Whatever. What are you going to do? They make the rules. It's in their budget. But if you go to other counties, in 5, 6, 7 years, they're repaving roads. So I don't know why this one being neglected the way it is. But anyway, we'll talk to you back at the shop maybe if we get a chance to. This day's been a little weird in that respect. So we'll see what we can do to close out the video. All right, folks, we're parked. We're done. We did fix that mud flap. Grabbed a couple of tools and fixed the mud flap. Basically, 3 of them were broken just from road vibration. It was hanging on actually by one, really. So what I did was unbolted everything and raised it up 1 notch and rebolted everything up. So now she's nice and solid again. But that's done. Post-trip is done. Paperwork's done. Now all we need to do is... really, we don't need to do anything because I did the post-trip already. So it's just a matter of going home and getting these up on the tube for you for the weekend. And then we'll talk to you in the next video next week.